I can use that, and I want to keep the distribution. I want to keep the I'll just start over. When we last met, I was about to try to figure out the dash, so let's pick up back in the front seat of the car with work on that. So it turns out that the front part of the roll cage goes just a little bit below the level of where the gauge cluster would get screwed in. So I think if I cut out the gauge cluster separately, I should be able to slot that in there. Part of me just wants to kind of cut it in half completely across that line, and then bring one half in from above and the other half in from below, and then glue them back together. But there's probably a couple of things that I don't need, like the little vent parts here. I do want to maintain the distribution part that blows defroster air over the entire windshield as opposed to just the middle of it. So that's going to be a fairly simple cut, although it looks like I have to kind of patch or tape some parts of this because there's a hole here where the airbag used to be. So, you know, previously when the car was intact, the air wouldn't flow that way. But now that there's no airbag there, half the air is going to leave there and not blast the windshield. So I brought out the jigsaw and it's time to cut. Alright, I guess I lose the window vent. Oh. Oh, I just need to trim that a little closer. Oh, I'm gonna lose that mounting tab, aren't I? If it wasn't such a mess, I would actually just bring the saw over and trim this last tiny fraction of an inch. Are you getting sick of watching this as I am of doing it? Yeah, what I'm trying not to do is lose these mounting the lower mounting tabs for the gauge cluster, because it'll be more secure that way. Granted, if they're sitting down behind the roll bar, they're going to be trapped in there and not going to move anyway, so I don't need the screws, but I would like them. And there. Okay. And I think it's pretty obvious that I don't need these vents and they're just getting in my way, so before I even test fit this, I'll just turn it off, cut it off. Where did this actually get screwed into? Here? Probably there. Yeah, probably there. Alright, so I've decided that this is the spot to put the master electrical cutoff. It is just barely reachable from the outside. Probably going to have it sticking out a little bit, but basically need to fab up a piece of steel that's going to roughly match this dimension, and I actually managed to save the nuts from these particular holes, which are the place where the factory airbags sat, and my original plan was to bring this... Okay, good, I can manage that, good. It's not as natural as I would have thought. Okay, so I actually want that probably right there, so okay, good. I did not give a thought to keeping this in position. That may have been a fail on my part. Okay, I had that within reach. That's something. So I'd hate for this to shift while I am busy poking a hole in the other side. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be reasonably good. So I can... Oh, that's lower than I imagined. Watch me not be able to get up into that one with this. No, okay, it's possible. So that one is centered, I do believe. That is the distance between the two holes, so I should be able to basically, if I'm smart, I will test fit this. If I'm being honest, I'm not really smart. This is what I should have done the first time, right? All right, precision template. Now the question is to decide whether or not I can simply bend this with my bare hands, and if that doesn't work, I have come prepared to do violence. One of the entertaining factoids that I have managed to pick up in years of doing, I guess this is going to require a little more brute force, in the course of doing some medical lectures, is that the word rabies comes from a, I believe, Sanskrit word meaning to do violence, and you could be fined in ancient, I think, Sumeria, maybe? X number of shekels, and what I determined at the time that it was, given the exchange rate, it was something like $300 or $400, which tells you what the value of a human life was way back when. A little bit. It's not straight anymore. I can't make an honest joke about an ex-girlfriend at this point, much as I'd like to. Haven't had that happen yet. Woo! We're just sending everything falling. This may not be perfect, but let's see how close we are.
1 unrecorded test fit later.
And obviously the test fit did not go so well. It would probably be better if I had a proper shop press or something along those lines. Did I say probably? I meant definitely. Are you fucking kidding me? I bought a new 15. This is it, isn't it? The old one. Actually, there's not quite enough light here to read. Oh, nope, 15. Really? It's here all along. Where was I? Oh, right. Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby. Alright, is... Oh! 2 holes. Okay, that perfect. And as beautifully as that fits now, I think it's time to Sarah Palin this shit and drill, baby, drill. I'm looking forward to the time when I can sit down in this thing.
Waiting for the next thing. You waiting for the best thing to come around. Forget about the stressing. Can't you see it's pressing your spirit down? Waiting for the next thing. You waiting for the best thing to come around. Forget about the stressing. Can't you see it's pressing your spirit down? Tell me I'm wrong, don't wanna be let out when you share what's long. Cause when the liquor is strong, start singing along, sing along. Well, always stand up as you're making the call. A few boards in the back and the start on the brawl. I love you big and small, short and tall. When you fall, I love you once and all. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way, the long way, the long way. Gonna take the long way I hear you talking, you talk too loud. When you're not walking.
Anyway, the cheap tool store that we all know and love is having a sale on drill presses this month, and I really ought to have bothered to do that, take advantage of that. I still need to space out those holes a little better, I think. Yeah, well, this will get me about where I need to be. Just need a little extra wiggle room there. But this is the most important bit, is to make sure that the bolts are going to clear the frame. Oh no! I didn't. So close. So close. Oh, see, I measured on this one, and that's not quite enough. What if I just cheat and, oh, you know that, I'm dumbass. Gotta remember that there's an extra hunk of metal here. I don't know if that's actually going to be enough. Ooh, that's gonna be real close. Or I can just cheat and shorten the bolts by about 3 threads. or having now cut the screws and realizing what I have every single time that I have ever attempted to shorten a screw, the act of cutting it has basically mangled the end to the point where I've been unable to get it started on nuts. So maybe I should just start over and make yet another trip to the hardware section of the hardware store, and at least these are standardized bolts. As I kind of mentioned earlier, I have always managed to ruin the threads on a bolt by trying to shorten it, so that particular outcome was probably the least surprising thing that happened that day, and possibly that month. In either case, I'll run to the hardware store and come back with shorter bolts that hopefully will fit where I need them to. In the meantime, happy Thanksgiving, and good night, whatever you are. Whoops!